right, 6:34. Let's get loaded up, guys. Poor Donnie's headed out for his run first thing in the morning again. I love you.
I love you too.
All right, boys, let's go. Donnie's pulled Ruby out and she's waiting for us. I've got to run and pick up that piece of cement to replace that today. So Donnie's got me a little piece of paper and cardboard back here so the back of Ruby won't get dirty. Boys, just lay your book bag on top of the cardboard. Won't hurt anything. All sealed up and ready to go. Hey, what happened to the sunrise this morning? It's missing. It's all cloudy out there. Not fair. Here's Joey with the morning NFL report.
So the Broncos beat the Bears 24-17. I saw a lot of great plays from both teams on the highlight reel, and the Broncos defense was really good, and Trevor Siemian made a really good touchdown pass.
Yeah, just in case you hadn't guessed, we pull for the Broncos. I pulled for them for years, but also when Peyton Manning was quarterback, we think Peyton's a first-class act, and the whole family got around pulling for the Broncos. So we're still pulling for him. We miss Peyton, but you know, we have high hopes for Trevor Siemian and the Broncos for this year's season. Hey, Johnny.
You too, Mom. Can I close the trunk?
Yeah, I got it all. Bye, bud.
Oh. Alright, now we're good.
Thanks, buddy. Ruby and the butterflies. I thought I'd drive around Raleigh just a little bit this morning before heading out of town. I'm at the Nature Research Center, which is part of the Natural Sciences Museum complex. And the most interesting feature of this museum is this huge earth globe that they've put outside, out front of it. They play movies in there that are 3 stories tall that have just the most beautiful nature scenes in them. It's really great, relaxing. If I worked downtown near here, I'm sure I would walk over and eat my lunch and watch the movie at least several times a month. It's just that enjoyable. One thing's for sure, the city is a noisy place. You know, just my luck, I would pull up to want to shoot a little video clip and there'd be all kinds of landscaping going on this morning. But hey, I appreciate that they are working hard to keep the city looking pretty. This is one of the government buildings over here. So in front of the Nature Research Center, they did install several years ago a couple of EV charging points. There's one on this side of the stair steps and there's one on the other side. And you'll see back here is the actual charging connection. They used to have a vault inside the museum showing the battery pack and explaining to kids what an electric car was. They've since removed the vault for a new exhibit because it was there for, like I said, it was been there a couple years. But at any point, I thought you would be interested to see this charging capability in downtown Raleigh. Alright, so I enjoyed driving around Raleigh for a few minutes, and now I'm headed on I-40 East out to Smithfield. I'll have to get off on 4270 here to get over to Smithfield, but pick up that piece of cement, that lid for the septic tank. It was about 34 miles from my location in Raleigh, so not really far, at least not for distances here where we live in North Carolina. That's pretty much a short hop for us. So at least I'm going east. All the commuter traffic is headed west back into Raleigh, so otherwise this would not be a good time of the day to make this errand. So those square forms over there are for one of these molds, cement molds, and they're pouring the cement out. You can sort of see over here these really large underground tanks. Yep, large forms for underground tanks. They make the cement out behind here, and then this business that does the septic tank forms is up front. Sure, please. I need coffee so bad. This is the kids' first week back to school, and I'm having to get up at 5:30, and I'm just like, I'm desperate. I'm just desperate. So I've noticed several times this week in my videos that the drawer to my center console has just been up. We are in it occasionally. The boys keep a brush in there, but that's it. So I'm wondering if the latch isn't working properly. This is the first time I've come back to check it out. I'm gonna push it down and we'll see if it works its way back up again. Yeah, I would say that just barely touching it and it pops up without having to really press or do anything. So I think what's happening is as I ride down the road, it just ends up coming back up, but we'll see. I know it's not good for me. And Starbucks is actually not my favorite, but I am enjoying my mint mocha frap. Really, I am. Just needed this. So a nice guy in the parking lot came over and saw me with the Falcon Wing door open while I was checking out the center console, and he you know, asked about the car. That was nice. I saw on the Tesla Model X owners group on Facebook that there were some people talking about the Falcon Wing doors, and I guess you either love them or you hate them. I don't think there's too many people in between. I love them. But I think maybe the absolute best thing about them is they're such a conversation starter with folks about Tesla and electric cars. You know, the doors kind of pique their interest, but then they come over and you start talking about the fact that it's all electric, and maybe you open up the frunk and you show them that there isn't an engine up there. And so I think they're a great conversation piece, but more so to, you know, actually show people that what the car really is. So I love them. I wouldn't trade them for anything. I knew there was love at first sight for me, and I am not dissuaded in any way about the doors. So I keep a white microfiber towel in the door pocket of Ruby, and I use it sometimes once a day, but at least every 2 or 3 days to wipe the dust off of the dash and the wheel and the door frame, and to clean my screen. That way when I'm making my videos, you guys aren't seeing a bunch of dust particles all over Ruby. And I tell you what, this little towel, it's like almost all I need to keep the inside of the car looking nice. I keep it out here for a week, throw it in the wash over the weekend, bring it back out, and Ruby stays nice and dust free. picked up a little sand on my feet at the cement place this morning, but with the all-weather mats from Tesla.com and a centrally mounted vacuum cleaner in the garage, it's no problem to clean it right on up. Yep, here's our handy dandy garage vac mounted on the door to the closet that's underneath the stairwell that goes to our upstairs. So it's between bays, this bay and the bay that has the GMC. Easily reaches to both sides and just does a great job. Where did the day go? It's already time to go pick the boys up from school. So last school year, I would go meet the kids at the bus stop at 3:30. Now they could have walked home, but it was a rather long trek to and from the bus stop, and Johnny had his trombone. So I would just typically run up there and grab them and bring them back to the house. Well, this year I need to leave somewhere between 1:15 and 1:30 to go pick them up from school. And so I've lost I've lost 2 hours. So it was kind of funny. I went to tell Alexa to set an alarm for blah, blah, blah. So I would get up, you know, wake up from a nap to go get them from school, which I've done many, many afternoons before, only to discover that there was no need to do that because I had to leave in 15 minutes. It's just not fair. So I'm here a little bit later than usual this afternoon, but not super late. So I'm sort of out in the street just prior to the turn in for the school parking lot. Now this carpool in comparison to some other schools is really easy. Let me tell you, there's hardly anybody in the line, but still it is carpool. Yeah. It's coming down, buddy.
Mr. Gordon gave a thumbs up.
I like the teachers here.
I'm flattered. I'm just paying attention to the driving
the kids
part.
Over there, the teenagers, they're like, you know, whoever that guy is who is riding the Tesla, he is awesome. And I said, yeah, that's me. I'm like, oh, that's so cool, dude.
Way cool.
Get to ride around us.
So it's being spread for the teachers now. Almost. And the teachers are spreading it for the students, so I had some 7th graders I didn't know come up to me and say, is that your Tesla Model X?
Well, I'm gonna send an email to Mr. Ward and ask him if some of the students in the science or math class would like to see it, and maybe me and or Mr. Don do a brief, you know, presentation on how the electric motor works or something like that. So I'll fire off that email over the weekend.
Okay.
It seems like it could be a useful learning tool. So Johnny and I are here with Kitty. She's really happy to be up here with us. And Johnny and I are reviewing his folder, making sure he's organized. I'm looking at what he's done this week. And he's also wanted to tell me about this really cool device they made at school. Tell me about it, Johnny.
So, it's called an astrolabe. You point it at what you want to measure. Oh, and I nearly forgot to mention, it's an altimeter, an old-timey altimeter. Altimeter, sorry. And what you do is, you point it at what you want to do. So I'm pointing it straight up. And the string with the washer determines what it is. And Mom, we've got a visitor.
I see. Hi, nighttime. Hi.
But back to the astrolabe, I'm going to measure his mom's fan crystals.
Fan crystals.
So they're at about 30-ish degrees. Cool, huh?
Yeah, pretty cool. So Don got a really fancy Brother label maker for Christmas. And this one does like everything. And the only person that hasn't needed any labels yet is Donnie. So Johnny and I are here making a couple of labels for stuff he needs for school. This thing works way cool. Show us the label, Johnny. Don't hold it too close to the camera. Yeah. Career Explorations. Way cool.